just let me know.
What's good, y'all? Trying to send out this link real quick. All right, so yeah, like my boy said, hit that like button. It should come in. What's up, Ollie? What's up, Golson? We're gonna give it another minute before we start diving in. Also, for the people that's in here, just letting y'all know, there's something I'm gonna start doing. If y'all want to, you know, I just noticed I ain't got none of my topics and stuff up here. But if y'all want to start recommending topics and stuff like that, y'all can always hit me up on IG and be like, I think this would be a interesting topic for the show or something like that. And some of them, I'll put them in here for us to do. That way you can keep it interesting and you can help me out some because I be having to wreck my mind to come up with these topics every night. So if y'all want to help your boy out by giving me some suggestions for the lives and stuff, that'll be greatly appreciated. All right, what's up, Marcus? So yeah, as y'all can see, we got 4 topics per usual. We got Tommy's loss. And basically, what I'm saying with this Tommy's loss, I'm pretty sure he's going to lose somebody big, if not multiple big people this coming season of Force. Because, Gary Lennon kind of teased about this, that he's going to lose, basically lose. He didn't say it in these words, but pretty much we can tell, you know, he's going to lose somebody big this season. So we're going to dive into that. And then we got the Tommy and Miguel team up because, we seen that photo in the teaser trailer that looks like Tommy and Miguel are going to be on the same side. So we're going to have a conversation on what is it that could have possibly, and I actually put a video out of one of my theories earlier. If you haven't checked that out yet, go ahead and check it out. But one of my theories of what could have possibly have taken place to make Tommy and Miguel, take team up. And even though we know they're supposed to be enemies at this point. And then you got the top 5 greatest death scenes in Power history. We I talked about that a little bit yesterday. I said, I should do a video on it. So I decided to make that a topic for one of the lives. We had a lot of great death scenes. So we're going to go through what are the top 5 throughout all of the Power shows. And lastly, we have the greatest missed opportunity of the Power universe. Because, a lot of the times we feel like it's a lot of times where, like, dang, bro, they could have, they could have did way more with this situation or this character. But, they just fumble, drop the ball on us. And I think we can come up with a couple of times where that has happened. So we're gonna dive in on that. And I would think more so the original Power in book 2 is where that happened the most. But anyways, that's our 4 topics. We can go ahead and go. I'm gonna go ahead and head back to our first topic though. Check some comments out. Support was good. I got timed out last night for telling the truth. Yeah, like I said, I didn't know that. I didn't even know that was happening, my boy. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I had to I had to make sure I was. I kept missing all the other ones, unfortunately. Yeah, maybe I'm gonna try to do to add a little bit more flexibility because to try to consider people having to go to bed early. So I don't know. Maybe I'll try to bump these lives. What it is, me being a West Coaster now, it kind of like, this would only be 9 o'clock where I'm at typically. So maybe I'll try to bump that thing to also I'd help my mom around 9 something around this time. So that's kind of why I want to make sure I put the live at a time where I know I won't have any interference. So that's kind of the reason why I do it like that too. But who knows? Maybe I'll try to at least get it an hour sooner so that people can, tune in better. But anyways, though, let's go ahead and dive in on the topic that we got at hand. And that is, what is Tommy's greatest loss this season? I think we got a couple of people that we can choose from because Gary Lennon, if you're not familiar with who Gary Lennon is, he is the showrunner and writer for Power Book 4 Force. And he kind of teased that for this season that Tommy will be driven to his knees because of a certain incident. And I believe if you're, just using context clues, we're pretty sure that means he's going to lose somebody very important and significant to him. And we're going to break this down of who we think this could possibly be. It could be more than one person. Maybe he's gonna lose multiple people. But as y'all can see, I got Kate Egan as the person up there. He said, "Miss you, Kate." I think it's her, bro. I'm sorry. I think it's her. Now, I'm totally not ruling out Maria going out, especially if you've seen my latest video. Then you know I think Maria is kind of high up there too. But I don't know. I just think Kate has been around for so long. She almost had a near death experience last season, and I just think it's time. And me personally, I actually like Kate. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think she's a cool character. I think she's a great actress, and me overall, even though she's a terrible mother, I actually do genuinely like her. So I think it's gonna be a sad, good scene if it is her. But that's who I think is going to be my pick of the person that's gonna bring him to his knees. Because he keeps being angry at her and stuff like that. This love hate situation with her, but I think if he lose her, it's gonna really hurt him. I can also give y'all another scenario, but I got a video comment on that one. I don't want to spoil that, so I'm not gonna really give that one. But we also have, we got D Mac still out there. We got JP, of course, Maria. And I think those are the only ones that could really affect Tommy at this point. I mean, of course, we do know that Tariq is coming to, more than likely, he's coming to, Force as well. But we know Tariq's not dying, so it can't be Tariq. Yeah, you love Force is Force is before season 3 and 4 of book 2 Ghost, Kate alive. No, y'all got it. Bro, how many times I gotta tell y'all there is a such thing as time skipping, people. Yeah, she might make it to the first half, through the first half, sure. But they can easily time skip. Now they're on Power Book 2 Ghost timeline. Because keep in mind, Tariq has to go there. Did Tariq go there at any point during doing book 2? No, he did not. So he has to go there. That means it's after that time period. So she definitely could still die. That doesn't that doesn't save her. Kate's story is done. Maria gonna hurt him, especially going to find her. What do you mean by she's gonna hurt him going to find her? Okay, here's a guy that says Kate survives. Like he said, hit that like button. You have to make a poll so we can come back in November. You damn right. We gonna make that damn poll because I'm telling you, that motherfucker up out of here. Hey, I wish we could. I wish in the polls we can narrow it down, like the ones that YouTube allow us to do. We can narrow it down to who said it. Like I can put y'all names in. Now your ass said. Remember you said no. Cause niggas can switch it up. Like, nah, I voted she is dead. But yeah, like I said, Kate up out of here, people. You have to make let's see. Tommy and Kate arguments they always be funny as hell. You ain't lying. They always be funny as shit. Shanti might work with Miguel to take out Tommy. My theory is that he will be put in a situation where he will be forced to decide between Maria or Kate or JP or Kate and only be able to save one. Damn. Damn. I ain't think about that, but that would be fucked up, bruh. Damn. So, okay, so hold on. Who are you saying is going to put him in that situation? At some point, they may take y'all girl Tasha. Yeah, her time is definitely coming too, but I don't think it's going to be enforced. Because I'm gonna go ahead and be honest with y'all. For a second, I was looking and was like, "Hold on, is that Tasha on that bike?" But nah, I was like, "Nah, they ain't gonna ever ride no bike." Then I was trying to look at the body structure. I was trying to see do I see a little hips? Looking at her chest and stuff. Like, nah, I don't really see no chest. That ain't her. But she was shooting like a gun like that, doing book two Ghost, the finale. So that's what kind of put her on my radar. But I was like, nah, that ain't her. Yeah, yeah. They don't do the like. I believe, like I said, I believe the Miguel situation is going to be over. I don't know. It may last longer than I think, but I just don't see the Tommy and Miguel situation lasting too long. Like maybe Miguel will still be around, but like I said, them actually going with each other. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure of it because we already seen the photo of what looked like Tommy and Miguel working together, which we're going to talk about next. So that kind of proves that my theory that I had for a long time that the beef between them is not going to last that long. If Shanti discovers info on Tommy's mama, she might use that to her advantage, but telling you now, she better be prepared to die for that shit. And Tommy killing Shanti sets shit off with Jannard. Hmm. Yeah, so you think she might like hold Kate hostage or something like that? Tommy should have smoked Tasha in season three, book two. I keep saying it. Why are you saying it now? Tommy must love Maria because he is looking for her, and if something happens, it will crush him. Well, it looks like him and Maria is gonna be back pretty damn soon, unless that was a hallucination thing. It looks like Maria is gonna be like alive and well with him, probably within the first two damn episodes. Don't forget, episode 8 is on Christmas. Someone's getting their ass put in a blunt this holiday season. Yeah, we're gonna be smoking on that cake pack. Maybe Maria, JP, and Kate. Damn, you gonna say all three? He would truly be alone. Tariq and possibly D-Mac would be his only family left. That is crazy, but I won't say it's out of the way of possibility. You know what I'm saying? Because why else would he just leave Chicago like that? He it might. Yeah, he like I ain't got nothing left. Why they still made Tariq and Braden into the next generation? Ghost and Tommy in future Powers shows. Well, hold on, you saying will they still make Tariq and Braden into the next generation? Ghost and I don't know, bro. I think it's better they just give them folks their own story and stop trying to, make them like them. You think they'll go on a half season break for 2 months like book two goes, leading into 2026? They better not do that shit. Don't even suggest that. They better not do that shit. Like they did the 2 month, bro. That 2 month break was terrible, bro. I mean, at least they did give us trailers and stuff in between, though. So niggas like me can still do content on. But still, bro, we didn't like that shit. Nah, we don't want that. Hmm. Miguel and Shanti have a common enemy in Tommy. They both gain from taking out Tommy. Miguel can get to Maria, and I can see Shanti kidnapping Kate or JP. I'm thinking it's JP because I'm thinking that's the reason why we get that shot of that that video of Kate saying make him suffer. It's got to be, because I mean, unless she ended up, getting a relationship with Maria or something like that, and let's say Maria's gone, but I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards JP's been kidnapped or something. What war will he call Tariq for then? So I always thought that another war is gonna break out after that. I think things are gonna escalate with the. I think the Irish, the Italians and stuff like that is gonna catch up with him in Chicago. Because keep in mind they did rumor to say that Auntie Doris was in Chicago and was gonna be enforced, right? Why else would she be in there? I think that's gonna, come back to bite him a little bit. And maybe they take out Kate. You feel me? Like perhaps, they come back, Uncle Carlo, and Lisa Marie's and people and stuff like that, catch up to Tommy. They end up getting Kate. And then, you know, he ends up losing his touch with CBI or whatever. Or maybe CBI is still with him, but the war, is so, because the Italians are very dangerous, especially the way Tommy reacted once Lisa Marie told her that her uncle, her great uncle at least, was Carlos Savello. That Tommy was pretty spooked. So maybe that's the reason why he hit up Tommy, be like, you remember that situation with the Lisa Marie stuff? Well, they don't caught up with me, and the things and shit is really like popping out. So maybe that. Multi multiverse war, Tommy will recruit Tariq to fight against a young version of him and Ghost for Power Origins alongside Breezy. This nigga. Tommy's greatest loss is tough between Ghost, Teresi, Holly, and his baby, even Kanan. He's lost so much already. That's true. But let me ask y'all this. So if you think if he lost Kate, he wouldn't feel even more crushed than all of them. It was the plan since day one. Tariq and D-Mac will have a ghost and roller relationship. Well, I would hope not for D-Mac's sake. You're right. And Tommy lost Lakeisha. Absolutely. I have to go back and rewatch Sports now. Yeah, me too. I definitely got to rewatch before the new season comes. JP just a pack. I can see why everyone put him on their death list. I can't wait to see Elisa Marie in this season. It's been about 6 years. I wonder if she's the OG character Gray talking about. Hmm. You mean Gary? I got you. Tommy kills Shanti for kidnapping and possibly killing Kate. And that on top of Jannar trying to have D-Mac executed by King Kilo causes a civil war among CBI. Yeah, bro. I just think we're gonna see a new level of crash out for Tommy. If you feel me, if something happens to Kate. Even though it did seem like he was good, he was okay with her overdosing, you know what I'm saying, last season. But still, that's different. Did his granny pass? Yeah, I think she did, right? Dang, it's been yeah, she did. You know they have a love hate situation. Yeah, they do, and that's the reason why it's gonna hurt him so much. Because if you pay attention, he sort of had the same thing with Ghost, even though Ghost ain't dead. I'm gonna keep fighting that one. They've been doing the parallel since the beginning. Why not keep it going? Tariq's supposed to be Ghost anyway, according to Kemp vision from Jump. Yeah, I mean that, but the thing is that Courtney isn't over the show no more. Yep, Ghost never dies. I agree. Hmm. So what do y'all think the dynamic will be? I mean, even though I think this is the smallest and lowest percent chance because among all the people I named, I mean, you got JP, Kate, D Mac, and Maria. I think D Mac has the lowest percent chance of dying, in my opinion, because I think he has the most potential of all of the people. To go in and be a part of Legacy and actually make a huge impact. I think he's the only character of all of them that really has that much potential. I mean, they could possibly do something with the Maria situation, but let's just be real. Tommy, we've always seen Tommy losing his love interest, so why would that end now? I think that's just like a some kind of curse that he has. So he has to just learn, nigga, smash and pass. Stop trying to be with these hoes because it don't work for you. So I'm gonna think. I'm gonna think the highest. I think D Mac would, but just let's just go with the D Mac situation. Even though, like I said, me personally, I don't think he's gonna die. But if he was, how would that affect him? Would it affect him more than losing his mother? Maybe because he's younger and a young life has been taken away from him. We not starting this again. What he talking about? The parallel stuff. If Maria pregnant, that's gonna be a mess, right? But I think that's a possibility. Now I don't think Diamond would hurt him really. I think Diamond will be more so like, dang, that's messed up. We gotta avenge him, but not know. No, it wouldn't be like Ghost. It wouldn't be like Kate. It wouldn't be like D Mac because those three, I think is super close to him, or JP. It'd be kind of. I feel like a Dime situation would be similar to how he felt for Julio, even though Julio he knew way longer. Like he ain't gonna shed no tear for him. Yeah, he is ally for sure, but so was Julio, right? Julio was his distro that he been knowing for years. Well, if they don't address Claudia in the first episode or even the second, I'm automatically assuming she's alive, and I'm going to be anticipating her pop up. I should have made a live about her too. I'm going to do that maybe in another one because me personally, I absolutely think that I absolutely think that Claudia is alive. 'Cause it's just how the stabbed happened. You know what I'm saying? And I just think it would make a good storyline if she was to come back for revenge a little later. Because that's another person that I think could be part of what's the war to come. Because she actually has Irish roots. So she could, assemble a very powerful team that could end up showing up later on and becoming a real problem for Tommy. Let that man speak his truth, but if that's what he wants to talk about, let him talk about it. Yeah, Liliana, Liliana actually kind of hurted him too. He was hurt a little bit about Liliana when she got taken out. Whew. So, anyways, I did. Let's see. We've been 30 minutes. Angela shot in the heart equals death. Ghost shot in the heart alive somehow. Yep. Because for one thing, Ghost probably had on a bulletproof vest. Because we think he anticipated it. And on top of that, he does have a lot way more muscle mass than Angela does. He has muscle on his chest. Angela does not. So he has a much higher percent chance of surviving than she do. And then that's another thing. If you pay attention statistically throughout Power, especially a main character, none of them really, if it's not a headshot, most of them don't die from just one shot. They always survive. Ghost didn't either. Y'all seen that video. Ghost didn't fall 40 feet either. And that damn balcony ain't no damn 40 feet, nigga. Hey, why this nigga Kitty come up in here just like I be doing when I come in folks TikTok live? Losing K would hurt him the most, but losing JP makes the most sense. Yeah, but I'll say this: he is the most expendable character. He's the character that you can just do without the most of all the ones that could hurt Tommy. Because nobody really care about JP. Let's keep it real. But what's good, Kitty, man? So if let me say this, so if it's JP, how does JP get taken out? Damn, 3 cups in this bitch already. Shit. But anyways, we've been at this one 30. We don't gave this one 30 minutes. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. I'm gonna go ahead and dive into this Tommy and Miguel team up. Now that is something that we've seen in the teaser trailer. Now we're not 100% sure that this is even Miguel, but let's just be real. More than likely, this is absolutely that nigga. Because I just don't see, who else it could be. Like that definitely looked like that nigga right there. So it looks like obviously they're there with the at the church scene, and it looks like they're going at somebody. Now, if you seen my last video, which is just a theory, I'm not saying this shit that shit just happened, but it is kind of weird that we see Maria in the same. We see Maria with a gun in the same facility that it looks like Miguel is at. Now that you know what I'm saying, that we can't change. Like you see this, that looks just like um this. You see the red lighting and stuff like that. You can tell that it's absolutely the same place that Maria is at when she's holding the gun. Now, could this possibly be the same scene? I don't know, but more than likely it is. Anyway, I just can't see her, and I really believe that Miguel's death is when that dude choked him out. I think he killed him right there. Yeah, that scene right here. I think Miguel got taken out right here. Y'all let me know. Do y'all think this is the end of Miguel right here? Being late means you're early than the rest of us. We're the ones that's late. You said the bald dude? What bald dude? So you don't think this is the end of Miguel? I don't have any thoughts yet on this theory, so I'm going to go back. So I'm going to sit back and listen, brother. Gotcha. Well, like I told y'all, it could be some kind of manipulation, obviously, because we know power is good for those. But what makes me even crazy, like I said, This is absolutely the same dude dumping somebody up in that damn river. So I'm just saying, I did 1 + 1 = Miguel. And Force be having these predictable ass shit. So yes, it's the same dude. Exactly. It's the exact same dude. The same dude that's choking him right here is the same dude that ran up on him in the trailer. You can tell because it's the same coat. That's what I was trying to tell people in the video. It's the same exact dude. And then on top of that, back to the image of him throwing the guy, in the river here. It's the same dude because once again you see the jacket. So it had to have been whatever this is. It happened all in that same day. Now, what could mean that maybe this wasn't Miguel is I'm not sure if this is at night where this is happening. Nope, just the beginning. They got to find Maria first, putting that pressure on him. What do you mean by this? Hold on, not that. This. No, not that scene. Maybe leading up to it. So you're saying not this scene. You're speaking of this scene with him getting choked out here. That's not the death of him. You remember the man Miguel was doing business with. I forgot his name. I don't remember his name. Who do I think is on the bike? Honestly, bro, I really don't know. Like it did. Like you can tell by the frame and stuff like that. It does look like Tariq because it looks like his body type. But it absolutely could be somebody else. It could be a new character, like you said. Could end up being Marshall, maybe, but or D Mac. It looks Miguel getting dumped. Skin tones look similar. Depends if Miguel has stomach tattoos. Stomach tattoos? Hello, you can see his stomach? Not from this photo, of course, right? Hello. It definitely looked like his body type, for sure. Like you can tell. It's definitely his body type. Like I told you, I think this dude took Miguel out. What if the series come full circle with Tommy mentoring Tariq, Braden, and D-Mac if he survived? Or what if he meet Kane? I mean, I think we know. I think that's gonna happen regardless. Yeah, looks like the shirt is by his head since he's flipped upside down. That looks like a stomach exposed. Nah, that's the back of him. That's not his stomach. Uh-uh. And then you showed it on the video. You can see that they dumped him from the other side. No, this is back. It's not his stomach. We can go to the video though. We can also look at it that way. on video.
We're gonna have some fun. Are you ready for this? Fuck yeah, come on. But we just getting started. We win this battle, we take. We win this.
It's just so quick. This stupid ass shit be in the way, which is dumb. But y'all can see right here, just by the pause, that that is the same dude that grabs him. But it is definitely at night. So that's the thing. It's at night when he does this. So perhaps he didn't catch him slipping then, or maybe he did end up taking him out, but they didn't dump him until in the morning. Yeah, yeah, that's definitely the back of him for sure. How nice of the homies to teach Miguel how to swim. This season better not have a missed opportunity on the D Mac and Tariq meeting. Right. Which we're gonna get into those missed opportunities. We can add that to the list if they do that shit. I wouldn't even be mad if Braden and Marshall were at the meeting as well. Yeah. I could see Tariq meeting D Mac, Braden not showing up in Chicago. He not even Tariq partner no more. He just run the fight clubs in New York. Yeah, but he's still part of the crew. You know what I'm saying? They just not partners. Like he's saying like you not a decision maker, nigga. Yes, that's what I was talking about, Ali. That's definitely Miguel being thrown in there. I believe. I think that's him. And I was saying that I believe right here, the dude killed this same guy because that is the same guy dumping that body. The same guy here is this guy. They're the same people. So what I'm saying is that body looks like Miguel. We see this same guy looking like he choking Miguel out. So I was saying this might just be Miguel's death thing. Maybe. I could see Tariq meeting D Mac. Braden not showing up in Chicago. He not okay. Yeah, I just read that. I don't want to see Braden enforced. Tariq needs to find a new crew. Goes hard on Braden. Is that nah? That's his stomach right there because his shoes are pointing towards the people. Nigga, what are we looking at? His shoes. That's the back of his shoes, nigga. That is definitely not.
We win this battle, we take the city.
Like if I go and show it on I don't know, because it's gonna be slow. I can slow it down more like this.
Fuck yeah, come on.
Look, it's not that nigga stop it. That's the back of that nigga. Hold on, you might be right, nigga. I might be tripping. Hold on. Nah, that's the back of that nigga. Yeah. Hold up. Hold up, man. Let me go back to the top of these comments. Miguel gonna have luck and get out that water. I can see some bullshit like that happening actually. Morel may kill Miguel. Nah. He said I'm right, but that's it. Well, first off, Michael, I'm not timing out nobody. So don't be saying no day. I never timed you out. If you were knowing me too much, I'm just gonna kick your ass up out of here. I already told him. I already told him to not to time you out. So you, you need to chill with on that. Hey, I can see that. Hey, I can see it, man. It's all good. Nah, that ain't Vic, bro. It's like the dude body frame is bigger than Vic. Everybody said go to that scene with Vic smashing Maria. That's not Maria, nigga. That's some new love interest that Vic got. And the girl name, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think No Label the Label said that that's his real girlfriend in real life, whoever the girl is. Tariq not risking Braden going to Chicago with him. Too dangerous, and Braden already a crash. I think that nigga is going, but hey, that's me. Anyways, though, before closing this out, what do y'all think is the term of events that led to, you know, what looks like to be Tommy and Miguel working together here? And you know what's crazy? It looks kind of like Miguel might have the same outfit on. That's why I think that it might be whoever this is that they're going to war with is who ends up later on catching Miguel ass slipping. Because I don't know. Like I said, it might in the video I said it might be the Serbs, and it might turn out to very much be that. Tariq, If Braden enforced, then it's likely he won't be showing up in Legacy. Why? You think the nigga gonna die in Force? I mean, unless he die, I don't see why they wouldn't have him in it. Yeah, I talked about that last live TNT, but my short answer to that is, I mean, I don't know the guy who plays the young Tommy, the guy that plays the young Ghost. I mean, like he's a good actor. I mean, I that's not somebody I would have thought that they would end up casting for him, but yeah, he's a good actor. And also, the actors is older than what I thought they would be, so I think that lets you know that they're gonna start Origins at a older time period than I initially thought they would. But how I can see them doing it is they probably just gonna go back and forth, have some even younger actors to play the really young versions of them. Like maybe like for Raising Canaan, I can't see the two actors that was cast for them. Like if Raising Canaan decides to show Ghost and Tommy, you know, um, during season 5, it's gonna be two younger looking actors because there's no way they can have them pull off looking like they're age 13, 14. Nah. What allies do Miguel have left? I mean, he still got his crew, and I don't know who else after that. Like I said, I gotta rewatch Forest because Forest is the one I'm the weakest at as far as like knowing a bunch of information about it. Because that's the one I've watched the least. So you think they're going to war with King Kilo's people? But the thing is, are why would Miguel be helping him with King Kilo's people? Nigga, that don't make any sense at all. Talking about casting Michael Rainey to be the young ghost. You said you wish you could post a meme in here. What's the meme? Send it to me. I post that shit. Nigga, no, they cannot. Name one series where they use the same actor to portray a younger version of someone else. You talk about that. We ain't talking about any kind of comedies. We talking about a series that's supposed to be like realistic. No, see, I'm not saying Michael Rainey can't pull off playing a teenager. He can. What I'm saying is it doesn't make sense for him to already be in the series as a son, and then they have him play the younger version of his dad. This shit doesn't make sense. For one thing, it would affect him. I know for me, it'd be confusing. Like you got him playing two different things, especially you got to do that, then transform. Not saying that it's not impossible to do, but why would you have him be Ghost, then transform, and then later on be Tariq? Especially if Tariq's a method actor, it would fuck with him. I'm not sure if he's a method actor or not, but if he is, it absolutely would fuck with him. You saying plenty of shows can do that, but I'm asking you to name ones that did do it. Yeah, like I said, it ain't you don't have big actors and then later on have them in the same what's supposed to be the same series and make them a younger version of something else. You don't do that, nigga. That's not how film works. Anyways, shit. I'm gonna go ahead and head to our next topic, the third topic of the night. We got the top 5 death scenes of the Power universe. So I think we've had a lot of great death scenes in there, but which ones make the top 5? I think we can all probably unanimously agree that Monet is probably number one. Let me know in the chat if anyone disagrees that the death of Monet was the number one death scene throughout the Power history so far. Adventures of Dope Tide says Monet for sure. Okay. So anyone in here that's against it, like saying no, you think it's someone else. Because I think Monet gets that number one spot. This nigga said, I don't think you're serious. I really hope you're not. Dre has to be on there. There. It was a nice scene, and it actually had a symbolic meaning to it. What was the symbolic meaning? I didn't catch it. I ain't gonna lie to you. Man and X Man Ian and X Men. The actor that played Wolverine played his own dad in the beginning of the movie. Nigga, first off, that is fiction. I said real. That is fiction. And then on top of that, that's a movie. You won't get confused with the movie. I'm talking about a series. I said name a show, not a movie. Kanan. Kanan's scene was pretty damn lit too. It was, but I still think Monet's scene beats it because when Kanan died, nobody was there really for him. He just went down swinging on his own. I mean, Tariq was there, but Tariq wasn't. You know, it's not like Tariq was butthurt about it. But when Monet went down with her chair in front of what made Monet's scene so legendary is that she was fighting for someone, and the fact that she died in front of all three of her children, more notably Kane. So this nigga Takari, I always gotta be that guy. But hey, I do agree with you though. Sax is absolutely up there. But beating Monet, come on, bro. But it's up there. I agree. I'm gonna go Monet is one spot. Um Actually, bro, I might go with Sax being number two. Then Kanan. Then it might be Proctor, then Julio. Actually, I don't know though. We can make an argument to put Liliana up in there too. That Liliana scene was pretty good as well. Power is fiction, but it's based off real life. These niggas are running around with superpowers and shit, nigga. That's what I am talking about. There's nothing that they're doing in power that you can't actually do as a human being right now. Yeah, absolutely. If it was a great scene with a crew or a family, then yeah. But what scene as a crew for a crew and family are you talking about? At the moment, I can't think of one. Oh man, I feel you though, support. But hey, let him get his stuff out, man. I mean, Angela death shook up a lot too. Yeah, Angela was tough. Only reason why I didn't say for Angela, if Angela would have passed away, I think if she would have passed away that episode, it would have hit way different than us having to wait and seeing her, and then we didn't even see her take her last breath. Really, the next the next episode, and well, the next season actually. Nah, I can't even rock with you with Teresi, bro. I can't. I mean, the Teresi, it was just cool, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, he ain't really do that. Honestly, I would say Lakeisha had a better death scene than Teresi. Yeah, Liliana and Julio for sure. That's up there. Now we want to now we can switch it up a little bit. If we want to go with the most shocking, let's go ahead and do that. Why we in the midst of it? Let's go ahead and do a top five for the most shocking deaths. Now that would change up some things. If we do most shocking, then that means we would have to throw Raina in there. Kanan, Kanan might be number one as far as the shocking one because I don't think nobody really seen Kanan's death coming until like the moment the police were there. He was like, "Oh shit." But yeah, Raina will be in it. You got Kanan, you got Raina, um, Sax. Because honestly, Sax would still be in it. Ashley Monet would still be in it because nobody saw Monet gone. You feel me? What Kanan did in 210? What did he do in 210? Now Sean belongs in there for yeah. Ooh, yeah, Sean definitely belongs there, but that's 209. If that's what you're speaking of. Yeah, Sean should be in it. I don't know why I didn't think about it, but yeah. That Sean thing was crazy. Damn, you know what? Y'all know what else one that I'm missing and forgetting? We gotta throw Holly in there too. When this nigga Tommy choked the shit out of her. Damn, it's a lot of them. So the most shockings for me, let me try to get this list together. Like I said, Kanan got to be in there. Sean has to be in there. Holly, I would say, have to be in there. I was thinking the Costello family. I just thought the death was cold. Something new we seen in Power. Not saying it's on there, just a thought. Yeah, it is something definitely something new. We just seen them wipe out, a whole family like that. Michael Ryan could have played a younger version of Ghost. A lot of kids look like. Okay, nigga. So Holly, you think Zeke was the most shocking? For me, just for me. I mean, maybe the rest of the chat agree with you on that, but for me, I kind of seen the Zeke shit coming a little bit because I expected him to die, so it wasn't shocking for me at all. I seen that shit coming because Zeke was heavy on my death prediction list. You said you knew they was gonna get her off the payroll. So this is my thing though, because I actually covered season 4 of book 2, right? And the thing is, um, everybody, and I'm talking about, I remember everybody predictions and stuff when season 9 was coming around. Niggas was predicted any and everybody to die except Monet. I honestly, I don't think I seen one soul say Monet. Niggas was saying Kane. Niggas was saying Drew. Drew was heavy in the list. Niggas was saying, a couple even was saying Carter, Effie, but nobody was saying Monet. But for me, that was a shocker. And it's kind of crazy because I feel like, we should have seen it coming, but we didn't. When Joe's coach showed Terry, that ain't up there. But that if we want to talk about some of the most well deserved deaths, Terry the Silver should be up there. Matter of fact, let's do that. Matter of fact, let's add that on to it. Who is the top 5 most well deserved deaths? Like you was waiting on that shit to happen and it finally happened. I think we should all be able to unanimously agree that that's Dre. That motherfucker would survive it. That nigga kept on escaping death. If we talking about Holly, let's talk about Diana unborn kid. What about her? Fuck you. They could get over it. I thought Monet at least would go to exactly, Ali. That's what I was thinking too. That's what was, you know, heavy on mine. I was thinking that she was going to jail, but I did not see her getting her ass smoked like that. Hey, TNT, you definitely own the money. That motherfucker Ray Ray was definitely real, well deserved. That motherfucker had to go. And keep in mind, we ain't got to keep it on the original power. We can go to the spinoffs too. Let's see. Anybody well deserved on Raising Canaan? I don't think my nigga Ronnie was well deserved. Maybe he deserved a little bit, but he wasn't well deserved. You think Holly was well deserved? I can see Sax. Sax been escaping there for a minute. Yeah, that nigga Dre had hella lies. Dude on the side was the damn I was waiting on the most. Noma was number yeah, Noma got her well deserved death for sure. Cause Noma was an annoying ass motherfucker. Was glad to finally be smoking on that Noma pack. How was Drew getting up there with Dre? Now I don't know. That nigga Dre was cold. The only one that I think is on Dre level is Sax. And eventually they did finally catch up to him. But that nigga Sax was he was bulletproof too. That motherfucker was out there a minute. Holly was doing too much. Definitely agree with that. So was Jason. That nigga got his shit was well deserved too. Cause that motherfucker was on their ass. This bag gonna say Lorenzo say Tariq say Patrick didn't deserve to get on the line by Felicia. Yeah, he didn't, but we didn't even get to know that nigga. Holly was absolutely overstepping. And that's another thing that I always hate. I hate when a girl trying to turn homies, homeboys against each other. Like, if you know that's his homeboy, bro, say your 2 cents and stuff like that. But if he ain't listening, don't try to turn him against him and do sneaky shit behind his back. Yeah, what about your boy Crown Commotion? Yeah, yeah, Takari. So speaking of which, you about to make me go ahead and transition over to the last topic because that I think that resonates over to that with the last one, the greatest missed opportunities because it's so much. And I think book two has the most of all of them. Like book two has so many. I don't know the original, definitely between book two and the original because there was a lot of things times where you like, oh shoot, this about to happen, this about to happen, and you were so ready for it and prepared for it, and then it just didn't happen. You're like, damn. That was a disappointment. So these are the moments that we're talking about right now. And like Takari just said, with the death scene with the guy that Davis McLean ended up taking out, how shook Davis was after that. Everybody was wondering like, what the fuck is going on here? Why is this nigga so scared? Now I'm pretty sure it must have had something to do with the death in the past. So it makes you think that whoever that body that he caught back in the day, it must have been kind of sort of accidental because this nigga was out of it after that, and it's like it's like he got a mean flashback that it reminded him of that he just started panicking, and I'm thinking it was the same with that. Maybe somebody, who knows? Maybe he really needed some money or something like that. He ended robbery gone wrong, and he ended up, shooting the person, and he panicked like that. And his brother just so happened to take the rap for him. But we never got any confirmation on what's the reasoning for that. So that absolutely would be a missed opportunity, which is crazy. But I think I know what the biggest missed opportunity is. And it's not Ghost. Because I think Ghost still been alive is, they can still rewrite. With the way they got it open for him, they can still rewrite it and fix it without. But the ones we talking about now, it's kind of, you can't fix it. Even though the Davis McLean thing, they could very much later on tell us what's the reasoning for it, but that shit was weak. But yeah, it's one of them in my mind right now. I'm gonna see. I'm pretty sure somebody's gonna think of it. That like they fumbled hard so far. They could fix this one too, but as of now, this some bullshit. You said Carter's story art? Yeah, bro. Like that's true because it just, as great as a villain Carter was, it just was crazy how they didn't touch on. He ends up vowing to you know get justice for Pa's son, and yet the entire series is nothing. Didn't show him doing any of that. Like this nigga was extorting drug dealers and stuff like that instead of actually trying to get to the bottom of who took out Junior. So huge missed opportunity when it comes to that. And here's another major one. I'll just go ahead and throw it out there for y'all with this one. The flash drive. Like I said, book two was cooked, particularly the last season. The flash drive. Everybody was anticipating on seeing what the hell was in that flash drive. Everybody was having theories on it. It was a major, popular topic that people were debating on what's in it. Like we don't have so much shit up in there just to find out that basically it seemed as if nothing was in there because we never got to find out. We should have got that Kane, Braden, and Tariq trio. Yeah, the fact that we didn't get that throughout book two is definitely, crazy because everybody. I actually thought that they would kind of give it to us the last season, but of course they didn't. But hey, they do still have an opportunity to maybe do it in the future. The biggest missed opportunity is Tate not getting the influence. Man, that's another big one too, bro. For sure. Definitely one up there. Because everybody, like I said, when they first was announcing these spinoffs, I wasn't, you know, I wasn't too fond of it. Cause I just didn't think it would work, So I was so used to seeing, ghosts and stuff like that. I was like, bro, this shit ain't for the work. And then of course, book 2 and 3 turned out to be much better than I thought it would end up being. And then that just makes me think, yeah, Influence probably would have been damn good, especially with Rashad the way he is and stuff like that, and how they was writing it. Yeah, definitely a missed opportunity. But who knows? Maybe they'll rewrite that wrong too. Biggest missed opportunity was not keeping Zion and the Fight Club idea. Tariq should have learned how to throw hands. So that one is definitely on my list. The Zion situation. It was just crazy, that Zion was a character that actually knew Ghost and Tommy, and then without revealing how he knew him, what was his relation and stuff like that, they just killed this nigga in what? Because he was introduced in I think episode 3, and he ended up getting no, he probably was introduced in episode 2, maybe. He was not introduced in episode 1. I'm positive of that. But honestly, no, it was 3. Yeah, he got introduced episode 3. And then he wasn't in 4. He came back in 5, and then he got killed in 6. Stupid waste of time and missed opportunity. And he was actually a good character. He was a likable character. And then they just fumbled on this nigga. Like I always say though, I give him a little grace because I think the cancellation of the show at the last minute is what did this. But still, shit was crazy. Effie being a real hacker that could have given her a better storyline because what else does she do if they had Pinky? Yeah. The flash drive thing was all just a reveal of Sax knowing about the green cards. Which was just crazy though, because everybody was trying to figure out how is it that Sax knew about the green cards? How would they do if Kane on the run still and Woody McClain doesn't want to be typecast as a bad guy role? Well, it all depends on his contract. If he's still on contract, that nigga got to do it, so it don't matter. I mean, I don't know what the contract is, but yeah, them folks ain't better let that nigga off the hook. Yeah, but the flash drive and letters was never fully explored more. Junior flashed the drive and got inserted to the ground. They gave us a very small bit of that in 301, which all three of them moved Bash. Man, I wish we got that trio. I know they seen what the fans were saying. Tommy working with the Tejadas would have been comical. Mega story art was also trash. Yeah, so I know I figured that was gonna come up eventually. Them fumbling on Mecha's storyline because everybody loved him. You know, as a villain, they thought he was a great actor, which he was. You know, so a lot of fans wanted to see more of Mecha than what we ended up getting. So yeah, definitely you can see him in the one of the biggest missed opportunities, biggest disappointments, biggest miss was Noma. How Tommy as a modern day Breeze 2.0 would be fire. Not having Lorenzo big uh, be a big time drug dealer when he got out of jail. Yeah, I hate it. That's a good take to Kenny because that's another example of them building up a character that you thinking is gonna be somebody, and then they just take them out like that. Sucked because they show had us thinking that Lorenzo was about to be a big shot or some shit, but no one was supposed to be what we see when we see Rock. Yeah, but hold on, green cards didn't come into play after Sax. already died. Yeah, that's what a lot of people was saying that he didn't know about it. So how did how was he talking about it? I don't know. That's why because a lot of us came out with theories and stuff because of this. The Fight Club thing was corny to me. I like book three more when Tariq was working at Western Holdings. Oh, you meant season three? Yeah. They always had Effie hacking cameras, but never had her hack her way to into millions. Right, which would make the most sense. Sachs may have had that into that info from Proctor or Tommy. Oh, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring up mine that I thought someone would have brought up by now, but they haven't done it. The death of famous people. We didn't even get to see that shit. Like everybody was anticipating on it because after we didn't see him in the first after the first three episodes, it was like, okay, what's going on with famous and stuff like that. And I was telling folks that nigga dead as hell. Some people was believing he was still alive and stuff like that, but I've been saying it from the beginning. That nigga dead as hell. And absolutely, he did turn out to be dead as hell. But after they revealed what happened with Crystal and all the stuff that they said, after finally revealing that the cops was responsible for it and all of that, we kind of thought we would get to see the death of Famous, but never did. It's kind of crazy. Another wasted plot line is that Tariq and Braden should have been broke and out of school. Tariq lost his whole trust fund from the Ponzi scheme. Yeah, I don't know how in the way they play like this nigga had enough to stay. He should not be able to afford to go to school, especially that shit. He said, fuck famous. Come on, bro. Fame what they do. What's the 411? What's the 411? Hey, they folks did my nigga famous bad, bro. Come on, bro. That's damn near the biggest one. The streets needed a body. Well, that's fine. They could get the body. The problem is, why the hell, what I'm saying? Why the hell did we couldn't see the streets when they got the body? Why they never show Tariq fight is stupid. How you going to show in two fights, two bit saved him with green sneakers, and then with a nigga he can fight. He had a gun. Hold on, who's the other guy you talking about? Man, I remember the dude that Kane them sicked on him, and two bit had to save him. But who the other one you talking about? Yeah, exactly. The viewers, we needed a body. We needed to be able to see that shit. Famous could have died by giving up his life to save Kanan or got life in jail. The way they wrote him off was horrible. Yeah, but and I still would love to know, you know, get to the bottom of why the hell did they end up deciding to go with that, you know, go with that writing of just not showing him again, saying what happened to him, but don't show it. Like that was crazy. Typically, I mean, it absolutely seemed like it had to be some kind of, you know, production issue that maybe Antonio have had the reason why they would do something like that. But yeah. Oh yeah. And speaking of Salim, he should be on this topic too that we're talking about. They had this nigga Salim, had that little tussle with Tariq, ended up getting shot, but they never addressed that shit. Never addressed what he lived tonight. And even if he did die, he came from rich parents. Like that should have made the news and could have started some kind of investigation. And that could have been, part of another great storyline. Maybe that's coming later. I don't know. But another missed opportunity was B Rilla. Why did they get him out of prison to sell 14 copies of his album? He turned out to be a so coward. Hey, I gotta agree with you on that. Cause it's crazy. The craziest part about that, bro, is on his synopsis, it says he's a volatile person. You know what I'm saying? And then they said he an extremely talented rapper. The nigga did turn out to be none of the shit they said. He wasn't a good rapper, and the nigga wouldn't tell. Nigga just was a huge disappointment. And the market's not even here to defend him. He gonna go back and look at this live later and say something about it, but he ain't here to defend him right now. Diana said she didn't let the nigga hit Raw. You think Diana's gonna go down for Salim? Nah. I think they was to come down, Tariq wouldn't let that happen. If book two was canceled, why did it end with Drew going to Paris and Kane on the run? It seemed like a series finale. So for me, bro, I said this before. I actually think that it's possible they reshot the ending of book two, and I'll be very interested to find out if later on they released it. That's what happened, because perhaps that's the reason why they took that long ass break. You know what I'm saying? Took 2 months to possibly. Cause it looked like they may have redid some shit. And to be honest with you, even that stuff, you still it can still just be a season finale. And I mean, nothing of it happened that you like absolutely that's how we should, that's how the show ended. Nah, be Frosted, Jew in the UK Power Top Boy. So how you think it ended originally? Did Diana and her brothers take over together? So I don't know, but I think originally Tariq and Diana's baby is supposed to live. Cause like I said, it was some set production pictures what's her name, real name, Latoya Tolipio or something like that. She posted saying, basically showing the a baby. So I believe maybe originally the baby possibly supposed to have lived, but it got rewritten. Maybe. Yeah. So you said, yeah, that's the video I'm talking about. Book two definitely had at least one more season left. Way too many loose ends. Right. Exactly. Why was Davis trying to get Norman to sign those papers? We never found out what happened to Noma's wealth. Yeah, too many unanswered questions. Well, it's about one. I'm not gonna lie, like I said, I ain't got too much longer to get up on here. We at about at the hour 45 almost mark. But yeah, I gotta get up and do some stuff early in the morning. And I'm also doing a morning show. It's already been set up. If you go and check it out, you can see some of the topics already. So I have to get ready to turn it in soon. They killed off the baby as an excuse to give Diana a motive to catch a body, and they didn't want Tariq and Diana to have a similar plot to Ghost and Tasha, even though they the first wrote in the first place. They made book two have unnecessary betrayals between them too. Yeah. I'm glad they kept Carter alive though. Cause I think, they had way more to do with him, but with the show being canceled, it kind of changed some stuff. But it just means that they more than likely is gonna throw his ass up in legacy. Yeah, that I agree. That didn't make sense for them to, have Diana just throwing Tariq under the bus like that. Because Tariq never did nothing to her to betray her like that. And, she just went with it to have Tariq taken out. I mean, if that's especially if that's your first, more than likely if that's your first, the person who broke your virginity, and y'all wasn't on bad terms, you know what I'm saying? I think it's kind of unrealistic that she would just be okay with letting her, first, probably her first love down there, just get killed like that. No, that's unrealistic. That's not typically how women operate. Them writers wishy washy. First they want Tariq to be like Ghost, then they don't. Well, it just goes to show you that the change of writers. Yeah, I can't wait to see Carter again. Like that's probably one of my definitely most anticipated characters to see back on screen for Legacy. Every betraying Tariq makes sense as she has a history of going behind his back with Choke and Lauren. Yeah, and after Tariq, kind of did what he did to her, because and I'm pretty sure in Effie's mind, she was like, I feel like I did you a solid, and you feeling like I did you wrong, and now you mad at me talking now whatever, and you cutting off my supply, and I need it for my school, so she had to go and find herself another route. So yeah, Effie's kind of sort of had a reason to a degree for what she did. Diana, that shit just didn't make sense. If they stopped the Tariq Tahada beef, they could have had more street ops. Yeah. You think Tommy Cake, you think Tommy Coke started with sniffing his own product or from Kate? Uh, I mean, probably with Kate. Probably did. See his mama doing it so much made him want to do it. I don't like the way the new writers switched the dynamic of Tariq and Diana's relationship. She was so sweet and infatuated with Tariq. The way she turned into a serial killer overnight was silly. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, girls that are into a guy that like that, the way Diana was into him, and you know what I'm saying, he broke her virginity. There's no way she would have just betrayed him like that. Book two also has a lack of street respect and gangs. Right. It ain't even what GTG, and it was one more, but yeah, they ain't even got gangs really. I mean, I get it that they're on a nice, rich college campus majority of the time in book two, but damn, we should have had more streets on rival gangs like RSK, GTG, and Soldado Nation. Hmm. Also, my body is telling me no, because I'm about to lay it down, people. But anyway, any follow up questions and stuff like that? Because yeah, I'm definitely about to lay it down. I gotta get back up in just a few hours. Season one. Hold on. How would y'all rewrite book two Ghost? Shit. I would rewrite it with Ghost with the return of Ghost. That's what I would do. Have him show up because Carter become such a big threat. Because keep in mind, Carter does know who he is. And now Carter's taking up his rage of whatever his beef he had between Ghost and Tommy up. And then Ghost and Tommy ended up having to show up in the end to save him from, you know, Carter. So I think that was also a huge missed opportunity that they could have done with. But hey, it made no sense that Effie carried a gun everywhere she went, but never caught a body. If I wrote book two Ghost, Tariq should have started out broke with no money. I mean, he did though. What are you talking about? He did start out broke with no money. Effie says to Tariq she was a monster, but she cried with a gun pointed in her face. Shit. She's a monster as in having remorse for some of the shit she do. That still don't mean shit. Death to death. That's how she looked at it. She never claimed to be that. Nigga, he did hustle his way up though. That's what I'm saying. The nigga didn't have no money in book two, guys. He hustled his way up. If I could rewrite book two, I would let Noma out of the strip. This nigga. But I agree with it. Every should have hacked their grades. She may have did. But anyways, people, like I said, I'm about to go ahead and close this thing out. We should have hacked their grades. Book two, we write Carter introduced as the main villain in season 1 through 4. But yeah, anyways, we are at 108. And like I said, I got to get up in about what, 4 hours, and I still got to do a little bit more prepping. So yeah, I'm about to go get up out of here, people. Appreciate all of y'all though, for real. Each and every time y'all come through here and support your boy in the live. Always greatly appreciated. But yeah, like I said, I can't go too long today because got to get up pretty early. And I got up pretty damn early today too. Like nigga, and then I don't be taking no naps during the day as of late. So my ass been draining myself. You right. That's another big one that was missed, the Mahoney situation. Definitely agree with that support. Anyways, though, I'ma holler at y'all.